to Marketing Connected. I'm your host, Xin Ying, and you're tuned in to In Conversation, a series where we, as the title suggests, are in conversation with the industry's brilliant minds and experts. We have in the studio with us today, Sai Tzy Horng, the director at Julie's Biscuits.
Hello.
And if you're from Southeast Asia, this brand would be no stranger to you, because for myself, coming from Malaysia, I grew up having Julie's Biscuits at home. So Sai oversees the marketing function as well as the people function at Julie's. He's also spearheaded the global rebranding initiative for Julie's Biscuits. Without further ado, welcome Sai.
Oh gosh, what a glorious introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
We aim to make it as glorious as possible for all guests.
I hope it's more than glorious. I hope it's funny, it's interesting as well. And yeah.
So for those who don't know, Sai was actually a speaker at our Content 360 event in KL, and we thought he was so good there that we wanted to bring him back for our actual full-on conversation, because we didn't really get to have one there that day.
Yeah, I was pretty knocked up on painkillers that day. Maybe that's why it was so good, right? That day was because I was suffering from a little bit of back issues and stuff like that. So it was a daisy day, but I really enjoyed the event.
I hope you're feeling better now.
Yes, I'm feeling
Okay.
better. Yes, I'm not knocked up on heavy stuff right now. I'm totally in the same mode. Yes.
Right, so that was in Malaysia. You're actually based in Singapore, but Julie's is a brand that was founded in Malacca. Can you kind of walk us through that situation?
Okay, I it's so hard to say where I'm based in, because I think I'm based in a lot of places. I live in Singapore because I've always grown up in Singapore. I mean, I was born and raised in Singapore, and my mom lives here as well, and sometimes lives in Malaysia as well. So we go back and forth. And Julie's is in Malacca, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And I travel back and forth between the two countries, yeah. So
which part of that world has the better food?
oh wow, we're gonna get there right now. Oh wow, this podcast is interesting. Okay, no, but then I think one of the things about being in Singapore, the good things about being in two countries or three countries or four countries, right, is that it allows you diverse perspectives. I mean, before coming back to Julie's, to this part of the world, I actually lived in Canada for around 13 years. Yeah. So I always felt that it's and I put this in my practice as well. It's always good to leave the village, and for organizations as well. It's for my staff or my top management, it's always good to see other things from other parts of the world, other perspectives, right? And Malacca is an interesting place. It's
very like
historical. Yes. Heritage is a blessing and sometimes a curse.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
The blessing part is that it retains a lot of values. The not so blessing part of it, right, is that sometimes things never change, right? And we get holden to the silos stuff, and traditions are traditions for tradition's sake.
Yeah.
And that's not so good for business, I believe.
Okay, we'll definitely dive into that later.
Yes,
That's
we
a
will.
very interesting part.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. But yeah, so how has it been for you going back and forth different places, or has things progressed to a certain point where you can manage from like remotely, or
Yes. So it's more like if I'm not there all the time, things are okay. Yeah, we've got a strong team. I think we've got our frameworks in place as well. The brand is doing well. The brand has kind of its own legs and its own life now. Its rebirth was quite magnificent, I believe.
it was?
And I think it's still destined to do a lot of interesting and great things. But it doesn't require me to be there all the time. Yeah. So in that aspect, I mean, I'm more free to leave the village now. Yeah. And I really need to, go check how other people are doing, how, it's always interesting to go around the world, go to different places. Our tagline in Julie's is Bridge the World, right? One of the reasons why we call it Bridge the World, it's also because we are Malaysia's biggest export biscuit manufacturer. It's a mouth. It's a mouthful. We honed that bridge the world motto because we believe that we've done business with so many different partners across the world. It's integral in our brand DNA to take in diverse perspectives. That's why you see the girl, the Julie's girl, has many different colors as well. It represents that diversity.
And interesting that you mentioned leaving the village,
Mm-hmm.
because I did kind of want to touch on that a little bit. Like, you grew up as the son of Julie's founder, Sai Tzy Horng,
Yeah.
and you
So surreal when people say that. Yeah.
and you would have had like a really long time exposure to the brand, the biscuits, and everything since you were a kid. When maybe he was trialing like biscuit types and be like, "Hey, do you like this? Is this something kids would eat?" Or how has that been like coming from the founding family of this brand?
Okay. I always remember one of my first experience because my dad didn't always make biscuits, and one day he came home with a bunch of, and it was the peanut butter ones. And then it's like, okay, well, I guess we make biscuits now, right? And it was really good. It's no the taste has been really consistent since then, right? I remember that moment, and then okay, this has become a thing, and it's become bigger. But I never thought then, back then I was probably 5 or 6, that this would
Be an empire
go
of biscuits.
anywhere. This would go too far. And then maybe 10 years down the road when I was a teenager, they've always impressed it upon me that we need to go do our own thing. Yes. And I took that lesson pretty literally. And I also believe that, I guess, observing from other family businesses, right, and my extended family businesses, that it's probably not always a good thing to be working within
family
a family and
members,
with
okay.
your family members. And then that it became even more pronounced when I went away, because I think absence, no, I think it's research shows that absence, what's absent makes the heart grow fonder, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really became, I lived through that experience. I lived through that idiom. And I believe the reason why I can work with my family now is because of, it's because I've been away. Yeah.
Okay, so then that's kind of like a look into your childhood as the son of the founder of
Yeah.
Julie's and what it's like to have grown up with the biscuits. But what led you to joining the family business itself? Because you mentioned you went away. What brought you back from Canada after all those years?
Every Asian kid will know this, right? It's called guilt. Asian guilt. Yes. Tiger mom and tiger daddy guilt. That's what it is. A little bit of that is guilt. Okay, yeah. I mean, but guilt's not always bad. I
In
never
the
say.
sense of like, my parents are aging, they have a business to manage. I want to come back and be filial or...
Yeah, did you call them when when they wrote me back? And it sounds exactly
I
like that.
have Asian parents too.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I didn't jump straight in. So I took on a few projects first. One of them was rebranding. One of them was doing the CSR project as well. And we had a social movement arm called The Best of You. I started working with them on certain projects first. And then I guess
Got
after a
slowly
while,
rolled into
got slowly wrote back, and yeah, and I think I'm very wired Asian that way, that I felt that I needed to come back. But that said, I also felt that there were a lot of interesting opportunities in Julie's to do very interesting things and I learned a lot as well. I think a lot of people will be lying to say that, once you're in a family business and then if you took on a role in a family business, you are 100% passionate in that. And I personally don't believe in 100% passion. I was a psychologist in my past life. I wasn't 100% passionate in everything a psychologist did, right? But there are certain things that you really like, and some things you do for the greater good as well. Yeah, and in this case, the greater good is also my family.
Okay, so it's a blend of everything. It's kind of like you were weighing career options, but also like family.
Yes.
Everything was blended in together,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so what is it actually like handling your family? Because I don't suppose you
We're gonna
don't
go there.
sit at a sit at a dinner table and go like, hey,
It's
here's
actually okay.
here's my marketing plan. I want to do ABC. What do you think?
I mean, it could be that. I mean, okay, in my context, I think we take it very professionally. I mean, I think that was a boundary that I
Family.
think I needed to draw. Yeah, and I think for the older generation of doing business, I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just there isn't such a sense of boundaries in terms of where we draw the line between family and where we draw the line between work colleagues, right, or work pals. And so I felt like, for example, things like not living with the family is very important. Yes, having a sense of distance is still very important. Having a way of talking to each other while at work, while in family is very important. Yeah, and also dressing the part is very important. Like, so you need to present yourself as professional. You need to even my my parents talking to me sometimes in the early stages of my coming back, they'll forget that they're talking as parents. Even that needed to be adjusted. Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, this is like a very
Yeah.
colloquial way of saying they'll be like, Asai. In the office, they'll be like, hey son.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And uh, yeah. So you've got to professionalize that, and you got to be professional at work. Yeah, it's very important.
Great practical tips for
Hmm.
anyone looking to go into a family business.
Hmm.
Who knows? Hopefully not another biscuit empire. Leave Julie's alone. But yeah, so you did mention that you did psychology, and that's very interesting because from psychology to marketing, there are some uh ties, some links there, but you didn't really have a degree in marketing per se. So before becoming a part of Julie's and its rebranding initiatives, like you mentioned, and now you're a director. So what has it been like for you jumping from psychology to marketing
Okay.
without like formally studying like marketing?
Okay, I saw this question coming from a mile away. Okay. So, first of all, I think the greatest marketers are the ones who have no idea what they're doing, right? I think the ones who, and this is what I believe. I think the people who do it, who play it by the book, right, or by the many, many books that came before them, they have a hard time disentangling. On that note, in terms of the linkage between psychology and any field in that aspect, right? I I studied educational psychology. One of the things, and this is actually a field study, right, is that we learn is called epistemic beliefs, right? That you believe that knowledge is linked together by some common thread. And if you follow that frame of thought, right, for those people who are successful, like in educational theory, the people who do well in tests, right, go in with that kind of thinking. And then they can link the dots together. The people who don't, who believe that, oh no, I didn't learn this, therefore I can't do this, right? Then it's harder for them to link things together. Yeah, so in that aspect, I believe that all types of knowledges and stuff like that, different fields and different disciplines, right, have some commonalities in terms of frameworks and their thinking and stuff like that. In terms of marketing, I think one of the things that what I bring in is the storytelling angle and also the trying to talk to people about things that they don't really see and talk about, and or it's right in front of them all the time, but they can't put a finger on it. Yeah.
So you're kind of drawing it out and going like, hey, by the way,
Yes.
that's there.
Yes. And in my mind, I work in a very spoofy way. Like things are always funny, and I poke fun at people. I mean, not in their faces. Well, sometimes. Yeah.
See that very often in like the brand campaigns and films and
Yeah,
movies comes
and-
out. There's like this sort of tone to it that is like funny, yet
Yeah.
like it's a very important message behind that funny.
It's satire, right? It's a lot of satire. And even before we did the rebranding, we actually did a piece with Donald Trump in it. This was 2018.
See this
Yes.
one.
And
What is this?
it was an ad about, one of our biscuits being an arbiter and Kim Jong-il and Donald Trump meeting in Singapore, right? I mean, it wasn't, okay, back then our ads were not so finessed yet, right? Haven't really got it right yet. But the tonality, right? The things that we wanted to do in a funny way was already there. And I always believe that I carry a social mission of some sort, like I do care a lot about many things,
Like
but
what's happening in the world?
what's happening in the world, inequalities, gender issues, these sorts of things. But I feel that there's a lot of talking about it in a very serious way already. And sometimes we get sick of it. That's why you see comedians, right?
That's where the psychology comes in as well,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
no,
you're
I don't know about that one.
you kind of see it so often that you're desensitized in a sense.
Yeah,
maybe.
okay, that's
Yeah,
true.
So when the satire comes in, it brings in a fresh perspective.
It brings in
It
the
makes
fresh
you think about
and yet obvious. That's why we laugh at stand-up comedians who say the most outrageous things, right? And they hit home, right? And then on top of that, it's so funny. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. It's interesting that you brought up all the films and stuff as well. Because when you did the rebranding, it actually kicked off with a bang with Operation Maybe.
Maybe. Oh my god.
It's such a big thing. It was a
It
full-fledged
was.
movie, actually.
was.
I watched it and I was just like, oh my goodness, this could have been a Netflix.
Oh, okay, so there's a
Could have
bad.
been a Netflix show.
Yeah, we actually conceive more of that. I mean, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I'm
Like,
just
okay.
letting you go through.
Right.
I mean, letting you see what went on behind the
behind the
scenes, right?
okay.
Because that's the fun part. That was after we did the translator, and the translator was a long short film,
Yeah.
right? That won the Grand Prix, which is the Cannes Grand Prix, right? And then the second time we're gonna do a long film, everybody got anxious, and it's also the big rebrand film. And we went through many scripts and stuff like that. One of the things that we wanted to do was really spoof ourselves and
Family business
the
style.
family business.
Yes, that was great.
The things that we refused to let go, things that we felt like we couldn't do. And beneath Operation Maybe was the story was about this senior marketer, right? He's past a certain age already, and he feels his ideas are outdated, and it's partly true, right? But the rebrand was about Julie's, as you can tell, right? Growing younger, and she kind of did. The whole thing was about him upending his whole career with a bunch of misfits from the office, right? To convince the boss,
yeah,
the lady boss, which was, supposed to be Mila. Yeah. The lady boss, right? Who was
Cast you
just
in there.
not really sure where to go and stuff like that. And when they actually pulled off the branding heist, she was finally convinced. And it's really just to also walk us through the whole rebrand. Show a little bit about the rebranding process, because rebranding can be just fraught with
Yeah.
back and forth. So it's like back pain, right? It's like back pain. One day you feel it, you feel better, it's getting better. And then after the next day you feel like you're stupid, or you don't feel like it's so good anymore. And things are just like, you just feel like you shouldn't go through the rebrand. Like it's every other week, somebody from one department or one of our distribution houses would have cold feet. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So everyone was not sure.
Yes.
They needed a bit of a confident push.
Correct. Yes, correct.
What was the confident push like? How did everyone just suddenly go like, okay, we gotta get it out?
Oh, well, some people were left behind. I'll just tell you the truth, right?
Okay.
Right. I believe in committing the crime first and then asking for forgiveness later. And it was a little bit about in the film because they committed the crime.
You're the
Yes.
brand heist uncle there.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh gosh, uncle. God, I shouldn't have worn these glasses. Yeah.
I'm not saying you're the uncle.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm learning to accept
Character
things.
is called uncle.
Okay. All right. Anyway, yes. It's fine. It's fine. I'm kidding.
Man. Right.
Snap bygones. Bygones. Yes.
So, so behind this whole like Operation Maybe film is the actual like full-on rebranding of Julie's, which costed about $1 million
Yeah.
there.
That's
Yeah, and it was done in collaboration with Super Union, which is now known as Design Bridge.
Yes, correct.
Could you briefly unpack that for us? So you've gone through the film part of it, but then there's all the other assets, right? There's like packaging, there's the people's focus groups. I don't know.
Yes, we did that too. Focus
So
groups
focus
are
groups.
always
Convincing of people and then essentially like getting partners, agency partners involved in everything.
correct. Yes.
Really big things.
Hmm.
How was it pulled off? How long did it take?
It took around 2.5. If my memory serves me right, because I'm an uncle. 2.5, 3 years, thereabouts. But there was also time that we needed to have because we're an FMCG brand. So, like if you are a tech app or something like that, you press a button, everything changes like that. For us, we have to run down old stocks and stuff like that, and then there will be a transition period. So we had to factor that in for many of our different markets, and I think it got trickier because we catered to so many different markets, right? So that I would count that time in as well. But in terms of the collaboration with Super Union was just hand in glove. It was so easy. It was so easy working with Super Union, now Design Bridge, right? And it was probably one of my favorite working experiences in my professional life, right? In such a big, long drawn project. And it's not like you can keep on rebranding, right? You can do
Like,
this.
hey,
You do this once,
Let's
you
do it
screw
again.
this up, right? That's it, right? The soda stakes were high, but we just went in guns blazing, and we wanted to be bold. And I think they would agree with my statement when I told them that they were not bold enough, and they got a little bit taken back. And then they liked it. It's like, it's like a BDSM thing, right? You get slapped, right? And it's like, oh, it hurts, but yes, I like it, right? So it goes on even more, right? So you get bolder. So I also decided that, this project needed to be fun. It needed to be playful, it needed to be fun, it needed to break things. Yeah, break certain boundaries. Yeah. And like for example, the logo that it is right now, it was chosen out of around 300 illustrations.
Oh, okay, 300. That's
That
a lot.
was the only not 2D one, the only one that had a side view.
Oh.
And I was like,
I was thinking they would all have like
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles, like just every
there were so many of
front facing.
front facing or a little bit here, but nothing like just that.
Straight.
I mean, they tried to make it a bit 3D as well, right?
I guess it was kind of trend at the time, right? Everyone was kind of going 3D.
Yeah, and a little bit anime-ish. Some of them were a little bit anime-ish. Yeah, that one just spoke out to me, but that was the most interesting part. Yeah, and we decided to, give her a little bit of a elusive, like a little bit, you can't really tell who she is, but she needed to look up, and that one was looking up.
It's very interesting because like, although I grew up with the brand,
Hmm.
I don't actually remember the old logo anymore. I don't know if it's good or bad thing. But now when I think of Julie's, I actually think of the new one.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out really.
I am just that one person in the focus group right now, but oh yes, Rez as well. Like I think it stands out so much more.
Yeah,
than-
yes. it does.
Although the old one has that sort of like nostalgia, everyone's saying that like
What do you call it again? Legacy. heritage, yeah, those words again, yeah. You know what? To its credit, it did a lot of work
Yeah.
for the brand. Just having a girl front the brand was a very good idea, and people remember names, especially and they're kinder to women, I guess, as household brands. So, uh, to the old logo, I think it did a lot of work. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then what was the kind of driving inspiration for the whole rebranding? Was it just suddenly one day,
I woke up,
well,
need a
the family got up
makeover.
and just go like, hey, do you think we should do something new?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what sparked it, and what was the direction that you guys were aiming for it to become?
Wow, this is a really big question.
Even if the family just woke up and went like,
It's probably a little bit like that. It's probably me. Yeah, it's like one day I woke up, I realized I needed a chemical peel or something like that. Need a facelift. Yeah. I think the one of the corporate and one of the more rational reasons was that we were growing in our markets, and we really didn't have a design system.
so like a logo brand guidebook kind
We
of thing.
didn't. Yeah. So back in the day, where we could use any color we want, the logo can be left, right, center, middle, everywhere. It could be everywhere, and we didn't harmonize any of that. So that was one of the, I think, one of the key reasons and one of the more operational reasons we needed to do this. The other one is because it's time for a refresh, right? It really is time for a refresh, and we
simple.
wanted a refresh. We like no the messy smorgasbord of colors, right? Back in the old logo, our old design system, right? And it wasn't even a system, right? Just wasn't communicating what we wanted to communicate as a brand.
Do you see yourself staying in Julie's for a long time ahead or forever? I don't know if I want you
wow.
want to put yourself in that box, but like,
I see myself being involved in the business as long as it makes sense for the business. Yeah. And I think that's true of the family as well. And I mean, being in any business is tough. Being in the FMCG space is extremely, extremely tough these days.
especially all the economic like
Correct.
uncertainties.
And on top of that, the supply chain is squeezing manufacturers, squeezing brands and stuff like that. I believe that for me to thrive in this, or for the company to thrive, we need to really be flexible about who's in there and who's not, and or who can do the work and who can't. And when I say that, I'm bold all the time, and some days I'm not. Right. Some days I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. And it's okay. It's fine. And I think marketers, yeah, that's the thing about whole bandwagon thing. Nowadays, the last few months and maybe the last 2 years, every time you walk into a marketing conference, right, someone's in your face about AI and AI adoption. What are you doing? How can it really help you and stuff? And then you go through the motions and they're all pretty much saying the exact same thing. But you gotta be discerning about, who you still want to be as a brand. And in fact, I think the more AI comes in, the more human creativity needs to thrive. I'll leave it here for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On an ending note,
Hmm.
what is a part of you that you'd say from your own personal and private life that maybe we've never heard of before
Oh,
that actually plays into how you lead Julie's marketing?
I mean, there are a few things, like one of the things that I really love and I'm always in search of are good horror movies. I'll tell you why this is relevant. Because I find a lot of comedy and a lot of reality in horror movies as well. Right? And the challenge is that they're stuck in this genre that is supposed to spook you and that's supposed to
you
and that's supposed to be extremely formulaic,
Yeah.
right? So trust me, for horror fans, they know this. It's hard, very hard to find a good horror flick that would embody fear, that knows fear, and and fear and scares are completely different things, right? So I'm always in search of that, and
What's the top one for you at the moment?
it's stuck in 2018. Hereditary. It's I don't know how if I have time to describe this, but go Google Hereditary.
For those who know Hereditary, you can leave it in the comments.
So good because it's the fear that gets stuck in generations over and over and over again, and you're condemned. And and it's also spoofy, right? Like
Yeah.
it's and the word spoofy. It's just
It's not fully serious.
it's not fully serious. Yeah, don't take it too seriously. And I think one of the things, I hate to say this, like marketers. I wish there was more comedy in our marketing conferences. I wish it was funnier.
Can we bring you back in for
I
a
wish it wasn't all
comedy?
about top line, bottom line, objectives, and I don't know. Yeah, I might come out just being very bitter, depending on how I feel and how my neck feels, or how my back feels like that. Yeah.
So everyone, maybe we can follow Sai and see if he comes out with his own comedy show. But right, on that note, thank you so much
Thank you so much.
for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you. Truly appreciate this opportunity.
Yes.
It's really awesome. Thank you.
Nice hearing where Julie started off, where it is now. And I think this gives us a sense of where it's going as well.
Perfect.
But for our listeners out there, although this interview with Sai Tzy Horng from Julie's Biscuits is over, you can check out your favorite podcast platforms to find more In Conversation episodes and other Marketing Connected interviews. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Marketing Connected, brought to you by Marketing Interactive. Bye everyone.